Hi everyone, Bobbie LaPorte here again with my weekly leadership tip for your best next move, where I help you see continuing curveballs as an opportunity. This year, I want to help you actively use your personal agency to accelerate what you want to accomplish in 2022. So I think it's fair to assume that if you're listening to this tip, you've probably experienced some kind of internal change or reorg during the last 6 months. Almost everyone has. And in the current market environment where we have this constant pace of change, people are leaving and changing jobs in droves, and companies need to recalibrate their orgs to stay competitive, this is just the way it's going to be. The last time we surveyed more than 200 tech execs, they said that internal change was the biggest curveball they experienced. So this should be no surprise to any of us. What might not be so obvious is the resulting velocity of change in your internal networks of advocates and supporters that are so critical to your career advancement and success. Many companies have had more than a 30% turnover in employees and leadership over the last year. I mean, just think about that. That's crazy. And you've probably heard me say before, in line with this, that my definition of self-promotion is sharing your successes with people who matter. So the lesson here is to actively curate and nurture your internal networks from a strategic standpoint, identifying people with positional authority, as well as strategic influencers who can possibly make or break your career. And even beyond that, many of you are now attending conferences, internal company meetings, and customer summits, so the opportunities to be intentional about how you introduce yourself are growing. And that's a good thing. Because gone are the days when you can simply refer to your title and your area of responsibility. You need to be more creative and thought-provoking. You need to create a picture in the other person's mind of who you are and what you do. To capture their imagination, yes, their imagination, to want to know more, and most importantly, to remember you. So here's my tip. Without going into detail here about how to curate and build your brand and share your value proposition, here are a couple of examples for you to consider as you rethink how you introduce yourself in this changing landscape. So here's the first example. Let's say you lead a national sales organization for a tech company. So option A is to say, I lead North American sales for company X. Right? Very common, it's factual, but it's very uninteresting and undifferentiated. There are hundreds of sales execs who have that job. Option B would be to say, I'm building a national team of top account execs who are going to transform the way we sell to the enterprise. Now, if you are on the receiving end of that statement, wouldn't you want to know more? And here's a second example. Let's say you run a product org for a tech company. So option A, the common one, would be to say, I'm the CPO for company X. Again, factual, but pretty ho-hum. Sounds like lots of your peers. Option B might be to say, I'm leading a team of super talented professionals to build the next generation of products that are going to drive our growth for the next 2 to 3 years, or something like that. You know, the actual numbers are less relevant than the fact that one, you're talking about you and your team. Two, you're using words like building and leading. And three, you're referencing things like transformation, growth, and scale. It's so much more relevant to the work you're doing and to how you want people to understand who you are and what you do. Look, I know this sounds like complicated, but it's really not. I know you can do this. It only takes a few minutes to try it out and see the response. I think you might be pleasantly surprised, excuse me, and the ultimate payoff could be huge. So that's my tip for this week. For more help on using your personal agency to make uncertainty a part of your success strategy in 2022, check out my new book, When the Curveballs Keep Coming, A Leadership Playbook for an Uncertain World, and my new online course, Leading Through Uncertainty. All right, everybody, have a great week. Try to practice introducing yourself in a different way and see what happens. All right, take care. Bye-bye.